me, this is not going to look cute anymore after we start seeing some big battles.
Yeah, it should get really bloody really quickly, exactly what we want to see as we hop on into this game. I'm expecting both of these junglers to start towards the top side once again. We haven't actually seen a jungler start towards the bottom side, at least on games that I've been casting, simply because these jungle pets make your jungle clear much healthier, much faster, and the benefit that your bot lane gets from getting to lane early now outweighs the benefit that a jungle gets from a couple of extra seconds onto their clear.
We definitely saw one blue side jungle starting from the bot side of the map yesterday, but I cannot for the love of life remember what it was. So yeah, there was one, but majority of them are starting from the top side. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Now we're getting a second one. This is a Joanny walking towards her red buff.
Ooh, look at that. Okay, looking to move towards the top side. When you do have that Camille up there, you certainly can look for a couple of ganks up top side. It doesn't make the Sejuani's clear quite as efficient just because she does clear so much faster with those melee champions to help stack up that glacial proc. But still fine, still going to be nice and efficient, and it means that you're able to clear through without worrying about running into your opposition because you can be pretty safe in assuming Skarner is starting up towards the red buff.
So both of the junglers moving into two different directions, which means that if either of them is going to go onto their respective lanes for the ganks, there is not going to be any counter gank possibility. So both of the lanes, the moment they realize where the junglers are on the map, should be extra careful with their movement.
As things start nice and calm, we've not got anything too interesting coming through with any of these actual rune pages or starting items. Everyone's pretty calm and collected. We've got the little froggies being picked up as the first of these jungle pets, and both of these junglers, they're going to want to be big tanky. An extra couple 200 shield is going to be very useful.
Yeah, because who wouldn't like to have an extra shield? Plus, the cream pet looks absolutely adorable. All of them do, to be honest, but the cream pet just has something to it. And the way it looks a little bit like Gromp also makes it a little bit more exciting. But yes, so far we are looking at a very calm game. Maybe will explode rather soon because again, we're talking about some laners here that want to be getting some extra priority and some early kills. But the bot lane seems to be the only lane where we have really big push and really big poking happening. Everywhere else, it's just, you know, sit back, relax and farm.
And this is exactly what you're expecting to happen. The Jinx has a decent amount of poke, but a Karma lane will always win in the poke war. The ability to shield and speed your opponents up, your allies up, pretty useful, but just the poke that come out of that Mantra-empowered Q can be ridiculously powerful during the early game. Getting this early push, though, does mean that this is not going to be the easiest gank right here for Rao and Nico. Just going to have to turn around and head back into the jungle, and it was never really going to work out, not when your lane is pushing that far forward. You can see the Camille getting a good push into the Ornn, also to be expected. Camille does a ridiculous amount of damage, and enough true damage to be able to make the Ornn's life a little bit miserable.
Oh, but here we look at the Sea of Ashes and Sejuani suddenly appears out of nowhere, so you have to invest a flash to getting away. But are you really getting away? Because there is a passive coming out of Sejuani, but you have damage as well. You're answering it. Sea of Ashes is the one getting out of this whole thing victoriously, or is she? Because look at that, that's another flash that was available in the mid lane. Shone gets a kill, but goes down as well, because hello, that's a Miko on the mid lane.
Miko right on top of that soul of the Yone, gonna pick up that kill. It is gonna be first blood though over to Yone, exactly what you want if you are Apollonia. Sea of Ashes getting a little bit too high feed, manages to survive the gank, very well done, but then decides to walk forwards, continue harassing out. And you always need to be careful of a Yone because even without any items, just gonna have the ability to heal up for so much, and giving up a 400 gold early blood to Apollonia makes your laning phase that much harder in one that's already pretty difficult. Miko on the gank train though.
Oh yes, she still had the flash available, so going in, getting some stun going, some more flashes coming out because Nami really wants to leave today. And we have some more damage being thrown in all directions, but no kills on this lane this time.
See just how much damage being laid down. Alright, let's take a look at this play again. It's a nice gank right here, good flash out of Sea of Ashes, still gets stunned up under turret. When trading Kayn though, flashing onto, getting stunned, nearly goes down. You can see why Sea of Ashes is walking forwards, feeling pretty confident in themselves, but the Yone just constantly able to heal up for so much, able to dash forward, flashes in, gets the kill, goes back though, and right into the waiting arms of Raramiko.
Yeah, that's the problem with Yone. You always have to go back, and there might just be someone waiting for you to return. We have a lot of members on the bot lane. By the way, what is happening up there in the bush? There is a little brawl, fist fight, whatever that is, between the junglers, but it's not going to result in anything. Sejuani is just here to make sure that her low health bot laners are not going to go down.
The gank out of Raramiko onto the bot lane didn't result in any kills, but blue flashes and heals out of the bot lane, making it an even more attractive gank option the later on into the game we get. So both of these junglers feeling very proactive. Win trading Kayn, though, a lot more pressure on them to get things started. This is a flashless Victor.
But this is also flashless Sejuani, but she has the Q, so she can gap close very easily. But Victor is just too far away. He was just on the other side of the mid lane, so he's getting away quite easily.
There was no way that Apollonia could actually chase onto that gank without losing out on a ridiculous amount of gold. A huge wave pushed right under her tower. So in this instead, it's just going to be win trading Kayn pushing Sea of Ashes out and then returning back to the map. See this top lane. Raramiko, I think this is once again just another push forwards rather than actually looking for a kill gank.
Yes, it's just Amiko walking towards the opponent on the top lane, and Camille is now stuck under the turret. There is again Kayn just looking around, making sure that if there is any continuation of the gank, she's going to be around to help, but nothing happens.
Not actually going to find anything in that situation, and for the minute, win trading Kayn, she's kind of just following around this Skarner rather than actually looking for any ganks of her own in too many situations. We're going to have to watch this constant fight over these turrets for the Skarner. See if the Crystal War is going to be won by LionsCreed.
Ooh, Apollonia going so aggressively again, but there is win trading Kayn right at your back. Ooh. So you gotta feel safe. Yeah, that was a little oof situation, I agree.
Nearly gonna be bad, just lucky that that Q was stacked up to be able to use the dash over the wall. And considering how much action we've had during this early game, we've actually not seen many kills go down. Just one in that mid lane play, and for the rest of these ganks, it's been summoner spells blown, but kills not quite going over. This certainly favours Raramiko, simply because her team LionsCreed is going to be able to scale much better into the late game. Jinx, a hyper carry. Victor loves to scale, and Ornn helps everybody in order to be able to scale. It's sort of a match made in heaven right here, a very good scaling composition, and so long as LionsCreed don't fall behind during the early portion of this game, they are going to be sitting pretty coming into the late game.
So for Zerolag right now, the biggest mistake would be to just continue letting the game go very calmly and peacefully. They need to be seeing more kills happening for their side. Apollonia would definitely like to have the second kill, at least the second kill in her pockets, maybe a little bit more to somewhere in the bot lane, for example. But you can see win trading Kayn is really seen so many times around the mid lane, looking for opportunities to go in and maybe grant Kayn another kill. Not Kayn, sorry, that's Yone.
And that's a 2-level lead, basically, in that mid lane. Pretty insane. Celestial Lisa, oh boy.
Oh, yo, Celestial Lisa, you have the flash, so you're gonna be getting for quite some time, but there is also the Hextech Ultimatum available for Camille, and if it's 3 members of the enemy team on your lane, not much you can do.
Hey Celestial Lisa, you had a good game last time around, but we are not letting that happen again, says Zerolag. Gonna roam up the support as well. Darkdale on a long trip up towards the top side makes a lot of sense because there is this Herald here. Slightly nerfed Herald, doesn't do quite as much damage to turret plating, and it's going to be returned for this Cloud Drake for Raramiko. And so overall, a positive trade for Zerolag. But it doesn't mean that Raramiko is just going to let it all happen, still trying to keep the team within touching distance.
The LionsCreed have also rotated their own AD carry towards the mid lane, but have not decided to extend it over to the Herald Pit. They're instead pushing the mid lane turret right now, and if there is something that you don't want to see next to your turret, is the enemy team Jinx. She has done quite some damage to this turret, but even having 3 members of your team at the mid lane is not going to give you the sweet turret.
See all of this map rotation coming out. You're putting your Jinx basically in whichever position is going to get the most farm into her back pocket. Stratopanda had a beautiful performance last time around, got a quadra kill, nearly a pentakill under the fountain, which would have been incredibly hype. And so you're trying to just put as much pressure onto your Jinx as possible, as this is risky.
Speaking of pressure, exactly, this is level 6 Xayah, so she could use her ultimate to get away, but doesn't even feel the need to press this button. But look at that, we have another fight, a fight on a fight. Hey, Miko, you're in the wrong side of the map, and you're getting stuck here by Yone's ultimate.
Lovely little catch right there by Win Trading Kane. Raramiko just standing way too far forwards. Didn't even have a Rift Herald to pop behind the turrets. I'm not sure what they were doing there. Getting called out, punished as well. That's going to be another kill into the back pocket of this Yone. Apollonia in a nice spot during this early game, and this is exactly what you want to see on your Yone. A champion who really can carry any game that you want them to.
So we're at almost 11th minute in the game, and we have 2 kills on that Yone. Is it enough of a lead for Zerolag to feel comfortable about the early game?
I think it's beginning to get there, but you're going to need a couple more kills. I'd like to see some pressure being put towards this Xayah rather than just sitting back and farming, because currently she's having to farm up against Sea of Ashes on this Victor, and it's not going so well. You saw the almost 100-0 chunking that happened. And so you just need to be a little bit careful that you don't let this Xayah fall behind too far, because Xayah is not particularly strong in the meta, needs to be in a position where she's actually strong enough to fight on her own, and if you just let her farm up, it's not going to work so well. Need a couple kills, but I am enjoying the fact that Docdale has been roaming around the map, and so if you can find kills onto your Yone, onto your Camille, because you're sacrificing out a little bit for your Xayah, that's not the end of the world.
Yes, I mean, if you are only going to have one hyper carry in your team, and if it's Yone that is bad enough later in the game, that should be enough for you. And in this scenario, you can kind of feel a little bit better about not giving too many kills to Xayah. But speaking of what's happening on the mid lane, Win Trading Kane got themselves again in a weird situation, but that's enough health to survive.
Just about going to be able to get away, and everything once again has calmed right back down. This has not been a particularly bloody early game. Don't you worry, things will begin to step up in a little while. We've got 2 minutes until the next Drake is about to spawn. Currently there's no real setup. You're not expecting to see that until about a minute's time, when I'm expecting both of these teams really to want to fight for this. If you are Zerolag, you don't want to be giving away a ton of these Drakes, because that really gives a win condition directly over to LionsCreed that you don't want them to have. This Herald still in the back pocket right now of Win Trading Kane, so looks like it's going to be put down in the top lane. You can see 4 members up here. This is going to be a big dive coming onto Celestial Lisa, who's not allowed to have fun this game.
Usually it's a bad idea to try to tower dive for something like On, but when you have so many members of your team right next to you, this just sounds like the best thing out there to do, and it's going to be the first turret in the game, popped on the top lane by Zerolag. Feeling good so far on the map, and look at the itemization in the meantime. We have 3 first mythics being popped in for both of the teams, and this Camille is already sitting at the item that is most needed for her to start feeling very comfortable going into any fights, pretty much.
Yeah, that Divine Sundra, you're really going to need it versus an Ornn and a Skarner. The ability to cut through those big tanky champions going to be incredibly impactful. You can see that Heartsteel actually being picked up for Win Trading Kane, looking to be able to deal a little bit extra damage and just have a ridiculous amount of health. Exactly what you need versus a Jinx, to be honest. And the fact that you're having to itemize into both a Jinx and a Victor makes health incredibly impactful, simply because they are going to be both dealing a ridiculous amount of damage, and choosing between armor or magic resist is a bit of a difficult choice.
Yeah, you rather want just to have pure health and stack as much of it as possible, and that's the perfect item to do exactly that. But look at the map, we have 30 seconds, even less already, before the next Drake is going to spawn, the second Drake of the game. By the way, leaving us with some pretty excitement soul options. LionsCreed though are already here, they really want to go for the second Drake this time.
Looking to find a way into this game and actually pick themselves up this Drake full.
Oh, that's quite some damage from the ultimate onto that Nami, and here comes the on horn. Oh my god,
Full
Amy, you are getting not the best situation. Sea of Ashes is on the back lane, not anymore. It's just Miko trying to run a little bit further, but the passive from Sejuani is going to stop them.
Wolfie behind.
Moving behind. Camille, do you want to jump in? I mean, who do you jump in this situation? No, everybody's way too far.
You're gonna have to jump in on either to the Victor or the Jinx, but there's plenty of CC around, as well as the Karma shielding to try to keep them alive. A little bit risky of a play. Apollonia dies in that fight, but enough damage was dealt by Acerus to dissuade any more fighting, and because Wolfie was full health around the backside, it did stop this Drake take from coming through. Now you've got 2 members of Zerolag back in base, and so it's just going to be a conceded Drake, second Drake going over to LionsCreed, and giving up the early 2 Drakes to the team composition that scales better than you do is a worry right here for Zerolag.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes you want to be doing that when you think there might be a good soul and you feel very comfortable that you will be able to stack 4 dragons on top of each other, but not here, not in this scenario. We have the replay, and this is a great beginning of the fight, to be honest, but what happens next?
You can see it looks like it's going to be a pick, but then that Glacial Prison goes wide. You can see the full Ornhorn getting 4 knockups, and that Nami wave is basically just to try to stop the fight from going through. You can see though the drag back of all of those feathers dealing a decent chunk of damage. Sea of Ashes is low enough that Wolfie would have been able to get on top of her and kill her out, and so have to back off. It only delays things for a couple of seconds though. LionsCreed still win the fight, pick themselves up that Drake, and are sitting just 1k behind Zerolag, which I'd say, considering how much better they scale than Zerolag, is a win.
So they should be feeling very good about how the early game has been going for them so far. There is still Yone on the enemy team that you need to be worried about, but maybe not that much anymore considering you got yourselves 2 very nice kills as well. Another thing you might want to be worried about is the Herald on the map. We are post the 14th minute, so it's not going to give you any more turret plates and additional gold, but at least it's going to do 1 decent boink into the turret of your choice.
It will be able to, and that is enough to be able to crack a turret if you can get it a little bit low, something that shouldn't be too difficult when you've got a Zaya on your team. Do manage to pick it up, not going to be stolen away. So, as it stands in this game, a 1k gold lead for Zerolag. They are in a nice spot in the early game, but they need to find more avenues to get ahead, down to Drakes, and versus a team composition that scales significantly better than they do. I'm looking at Wind Trading Kane to find a couple more gank opportunities, really to continue putting Wolfie and Apollonia ahead, because both of those could carry the game. Miko standing a little bit too far up. Could possibly be taken out, but everything is going to come back down. And if you are going to put someone ahead, you want it to be this Yone, but for the minute, it's just sort of sit back, absorb farm. Yone still hasn't completed the full mythic. This should be picked up on the way back. Actually going to go with the Bork first. Makes sense, gives you a lot of extra healing. And so Apollonia really is online at this point in time. You need to play towards this Yone.
Is it enough though for Zerolag? Because as you said, they're playing against the clock in this game. Are they being proactive enough on the map to make sure that they work around their early game advantages? This Yone, yes, 2 kills is a very nice thing to have. First item completed and a very good item for you as a champion. Nice too. But you're sitting on a very big farm difference between the mid laners, so you're behind in terms of the gold just purely coming from the farm. Oh, look at the Wind Trading Kane. You were talking about the Wind Trading Kane, by the way, just a little bit earlier, and about the fact that they're still sitting on a Herald. Is it going to be that bot lane turret? Because that would be a nice one to open.
It would be. You usually want to crack that mid lane turret first, but it's very difficult to do so, and if you're just able to put more gold into the back pocket of one of your solo lanes, that could still work out beautifully well. The only thing that maybe we haven't touched on quite enough out of this Zerolag composition is that they don't have really any AP. You're sort of sitting in a situation where you have no true AP carry. I mean, the Nami has gone with a sort of AP item. You know, there's a little bit of AP coming off of that, but not really enough. And so you're going to be in a position where you have got to deal with the fact that your AD carries need to deal so much damage. Otherwise, an Imperial Mandate Nami isn't going to be able to deal enough to stop your opposition from just full stacking armor. You can see that Frozen Gauntlet has already come through from our Miko. Going to be plenty strong.
Something else is coming through, and this is that Camille going on with the Hackstick Ultimatum on Celestial Lisa. Oh my god, we have seen this already in the game. She's going down versus 2.
You can see Celestial Lisa not allowed to have a good game. Had her fun in the previous game. Now you just have to constantly be taken out. The Herald is going to go down towards this bottom side. You can see the returning push out of LionsCreed in the middle lane, trying to take this mid lane turret. This turret will actually fall in the bot side before the Herald is able to spawn, so they should be able to get 2 for themselves. Fight in the mid lane.
Oh my god, that Xayah going in immediately with the ultimate, but this is not going to be enough because there is enough control on the enemy team, and they have Jinx right next to the turret, taking it down and taking Xayah down too, right? Miko is very, very low, looking at Nami, but Nami is looking at you as well, and there is withdrawn kill. Finally, it's hitting, the ultimate is hitting, and it's another kill.
There we go, another kill gonna be picked up right here for Zerolag. They have finally found a way to get back into this game fully. This Herald might be able to get another charge off onto a turret. Will do. That's gonna be 3 turrets damaged, 2 of them fully taken out towards the bottom side. Another turret towards the top side, also taking a chunk of damage out of Apollonia. And although the mid lane first tier turret was taken, it's still a massive swing of gold into the back pockets of Zerolag, now up by 3k. Those first items have now fully come through, working towards the second items, and this is more of the early game we were hoping for.
And this is such a good time to take down so many turrets on the bot side and completely clear it out for yourselves, because the third Drake of the game is coming up in 15 seconds and you really want to go and deny the soul point for LionsCreed. This is going to be a rather beautiful soul giving so much tenacity, and you want to have tenacity as Zerolag, because with all of the amount of control available for LionsCreed, you need to have at least something to throw against it.
Indeed. Alrighty, let's see what's going to happen right here. If LionsCreed get this, they're going to be on soul point already. You have got to fight this one as Zerolag. Where is your angle? Yone is in the mid lane, going to be able to get a flank off.
Camille, look at Camille. There is another flank maneuver, and if there is a champion who loves being on the flank, this is definitely Camille. She's walking around, I believe, not being spotted so far.
Oh, they found a catch!
Finding the single target, they found Victor, and they immediately removed him from the game, and they can continue just like that. We've thrown Kane.
Apollonia on the back line!
Tommy is going down. Oh my god, it's another kill. It's Jinx down. You have taken down all the carries, and now you're just finishing the job. Double kill for Yone, by the way. Hey, Miko, you're not getting away. And on the other side of the map, Celestial Lisa goes down too.
Oh, what a team fight right there. You could see the flank out of both of your solo laners, Apollonia and Wolfie, from different angles, finding their way into that game, and both of them converging on top of Sea of Ashes. That's a huge amount of damage from the LionsCreed composition taken out. They're scattered to the hills, surrounded by the opposition, taken out. It's now going to be a Baron and the Drake picked up for Zerolag, and this game has just exploded into their favor.
When you're playing so front to back, it's so important to have your backlane always secured, especially with the vision, because look at that Camille. Yeah, you know where Yone is, so you can kind of expect him coming from that direction, but with Camille, you absolutely do not expect her, and because of that, it's an easy early kills of the carries.
Oh, the fate sealed out of Apollonia on the backline as well. And once you take out those big carries, you can see the two big tanks of the team just get melted out slowly but surely. And you're able to rotate that back into a Drake and a Baron. When the game felt so close for so long, this has been a massive swing, and exactly what Zerolag needed. They were staring down the barrel of massive amounts of scaling, and they hadn't found success with their early game composition. The 1 to 2 item spikes had come online, and that's the point at which this composition was truly at its strongest. They needed to find something in that moment, and they did.
So look, we have 7,000 gold difference between the teams, approximately. Again, I absolutely do not count. We have the Baron on the side of Zerolag, and we have finally at least one Dragon with them. Is there still enough time for LionsCreed to go back into the game and have all the scaling hit him and to help him, hopefully? Not him, them.
They should still be okay if they can stall this game out a little bit more. Those two Drakes have put them in a really good position as, Sea of Ashes. Will they be able to get away from this gank? Because it's looking a bit risky.
It's Camille. Okay, she could have gone there, but that
could have jumped forwards. Decides not to. Everything is fine. You still have so much scaling on your side. You're not feeling too bad if you're LionsCreed, but considering how close you kept the early stages of the game, you really don't want to have allowed this much of a swing to have come through. You're still waiting on that level 14. Celestial Lisa is nearly there. One more level before you can start laying down those ornaments onto either Sea of Ashes or Stratos Panda. Probably. We'll see which one actually gets that upgrade. I mean, if you can put it onto that Kraken Slayer, you're going to just be able to melt through anybody in front of you, tank or not. And again, putting it onto that Liandry's the burn.
Oh my god, what is the damage? That Camille is not supposed to be that
trading Kane's here.
Yeah, she's going to go down, unfortunately, because that is Skarner, and he does not want to kid around, and with throwing Kain, he's being slowed down so massively, and another slow instant coming down from Karma. You are getting away because you're Sejuani and you don't care.
Look at that, and look what they're losing for it. With the Baron empowered minions, going to lose a mid lane turret in response. Going to lose most of the health on their bot lane turret as well. And considering the fact that that started off with Wolfie getting a kill, that is certainly a winning team fight right here. Apollonia going to use that Fate Unsealed to try to get away. Should still go down, does go down. Big shot down into the back pocket of Stratos Panda.
That was a good attempt, though, of getting away, and it was still worth sacrificing yourself, because now you have two inhibitors open, and in that scenario, you are really, all you're doing is waiting for the next Baron, right? Because 3 minutes and a half, even less, you get the next Baron. Two inhibitors completely open for you. Take your Baron empowered minions, go, take down everything else that is left on the enemy base. Yeah, here comes Apollonia, being very aggressive here, really wants to finish the turn, getting away from the Onhon, but not getting away from the Own itself. Oh, the sniper shot.
Very nice super mega death rocket right there out of Stratos Panda, showing that still has a lot of power on this Jinx. But it's a worthwhile trade. It really is out of Apollonia. She had the decision, do I walk away and survive, or do I go for this turret? Taking the turret, I think, is the correct decision. You now have 2 open inhibitors. The base is cracked wide open for LionsCreed, and you're in a situation where if any of these team fights do end up being won by Zerolag, they can get into the base and possibly threaten to end the game much, much easier. Got a Drake spawning in 1.5 minutes. Currently, the vision score is a little bit even, actually. There's plenty of vision, but it's not pushed up particularly far for LionsCreed is the issue.
Not for anybody, to be honest. I'm not seeing too much of the offensive vision coming from any of the teams, but right now I would say that it's a good time to try to focus the vision around the objectives. Yeah, nobody's going to get the soul out of the next dragon, but at least it's going to be the soul point for LionsCreed and a good dragon to take just as is, so maybe an opportunity for them to do at least something on the map, because right now they're being stuck at their base.
Hey, you can't walk out, you can't go farm your jungle camps, really being pushed in. And LionsCreed, in order for their composition to come online, you're really looking for that 3-4 item spikes. Your Jinx has hit 3 items. Currently, your Victor is not sat too far off, and Celestial Elisa did just hit level 14. And so this composition out of LionsCreed is just about beginning to come online. But unfortunately, you are quite far behind your opposition. Mainly in terms of just pure map pressure, but there is a full 7k lead.
Oof.
You need another 10, 15 more minutes for LionsCreed to get back into this game, but I don't know if they have that much time.
Yeah, okay, maybe they do have a little bit of time, because that Camille was completely caught here, and another ultimate from Skada. Oh, there was an attempt to go down with somebody else, but no, it's just a kill.
Apollonia going quite aggressive onto Celestial Lisa, just trying to find something on the back end of this fight. It was a lovely impale right there out of Raramiko. You've seen that Skarner ultimate used to very good effect, but towards the top side, now going to have to book it down towards the bottom side if they want to compete for this Drake, but instead, just going to say, hey, you're only getting your 2nd Drake of the game, Zerolag. That's just, LionsCreed, that's just fine. Just going to let it happen.
Yeah. Not even trying to do anything around the dragon, knowing for sure that it's being taken, but focusing their attention entirely around the top side of the map. Again, getting some additional gold from the objective bounties that have spawned for them. Preparing a little bit for the Baron, 30 seconds before it's going to spawn.
It's nice decision making right here out of LionsCreed. I like the decision to leave that Drake alone because they got the first couple of Drakes. They put themselves in a buffer situation where you bought yourself at least 15 more minutes until any of the big important soul point or even soul Drakes spawn for your opposition, so you can just let them have it. Yeah, it's not great to give over Drakes, but it's not the end of the world at this point. They have at least another 5 minutes until they have to fight, possibly 10 if they're willing to give up another one. And like you said, you can set up a ton of vision for this Baron. Every single member right now of LionsCreed is making their way over. You've got G Wolfie down towards the bottom side, but does have TP. There's no particularly good TP flank wards this time around, so it might be a bit more of a straight front to back.
Might be, unless Camille manages to find just any possibility to go around and have the flanking maneuver again. With Camille, it's quite possible for you to just suddenly appear at the back lane of the enemy. But here, she is staying on the bot lane for the time being. Really wants to have an additional pressure, applied to LionsCreed and especially to their base. Additional pressure, speaking of, with throwing K, and that's another Glacial Prison completely missed. But you have the passive, you have the stun from it, and you have the kill over to Nami. I guess sometimes you gotta
Wolfie's in the base.
Yes, she's taking down the inhibitor like there is no tomorrow.
Gonna be able to try a second one. And why not? Right now, this is Wolfie sacrificing herself just to be able to draw attention, try to stop any response because the rest of Zerolag is on the Baron. An attempt to steal out of the rocket, not gonna land, still plenty of health on that one, and it's gonna be a confirmed Baron over to Zerolag and an inhibitor as well.
Yeah, oh my god, is it now? Okay, Wolfie finally was caught there on the bot lane. Might just have to pay for her sins because this is a lot of stuns and a lot of damage out onto her. Yes, it's a kill. I need to teleport to the top lane in the meantime. Oh, that's going to be a nice push.
Yeah, it's a nice push picking themselves up that inhibitor. It's not ideal to lose out on the Baron buff onto Wolfie, needed to run away as soon as she got the opportunity to. It's a nice chase out of LionsCreed. You would want that Baron buff onto your Camille because your Camille is one of your premier split pushers, and this composition really is built for a 1-3-1. Yone top lane, 3 members in the mid lane, and your Camille down towards the bottom side. But as it stands, you can now move your Camille in with the rest of the team, add a little bit more support if that's what you need. And instead, you can send your Yone all by herself up towards this top lane, perfectly happy because of that fate sealed to be able to run away pretty easily and use that Baron buff to push forwards. This is a lot of pressure right now. Zerolag, they looked a little bit iffy during the early stages of the game, found their footing during the mid-game, and now are transitioning this beautifully into these later stages. And if they're able to keep the accelerator up, LionsCreed just aren't going to catch up with their scaling composition.
Apollonia was in the trouble for a couple of seconds there because you could see so many people of LionsCreed trying to go and catch her. And actually they did with a flash from Celestial Lisa. They really want to stop Apollonia from getting away, but she had the flash too. She's just getting away like that. And speaking of Kain, by the way, there is a gauntlet as a mythic item for him. Is it something new that you're just supposed to build on Leona these days?
You certainly can go towards it. It's not exactly what I would choose, but we are up against a lot of AD, and the slows can really help you in those big trades. Considering a lot of the mythics that you would usually have gone for Yone are not that strong at the moment, I quite like it. Mid lane inhibitor going to go down. There's still a couple more seconds worth of this Baron buff. You can see once again Apollonia is pushing towards this top side, and the pressure just all across the map, the rotation between these lanes to bounce between, constantly getting damage onto these turrets. It's a real work of art to see out of Zerolag.
And it might just be the last stand for LionsCreed if only Zerolag decide to push a little bit further. But oh, they found Wolfie again. They really want to catch her out, but this time she's going to get out. Look at the turrets at the Nexus. One of them is going down almost. There is only one other turret left on the base standing and protecting the last inhibitor that is still alive, but is it going to be alive for long? There is no more Baron buff available, so it might just be a good time to turn around for Zerolag and withdraw for the time being to see what else they can do on the map, but they don't want to. They want to keep going. Here comes the Glacial Freeze onto Celestial Lisa, and Tabi is going down so quickly, but has the shield fortunately going to get away. But in the meantime, LionsCreed are losing absolutely everything on their base. 2 turrets down, the inhibitor down. Only 1 turret is standing between Zerolag and their pass forwards. And oh my god, what a beautiful one we have here with Nami's ultimate, with the Hextech ultimatum at the base. Celestial Lisa, Sea of Ash is going down, but Sea of Ash is getting a kill, but is it going to matter? It is! Look at that! Hey, Miku is chasing Withdrawing. Kain wants to get another kill. Oh my god, Nami is down as well. Double kill for Jinx. Here comes another kill potentially. Yes, because it's a root and Withdrawing Kain. Come on, tell me, is it going to be a kill or not? Is it? Oh my god, yes, it's going to be a kill.
Little bit of an overstay right here out of Zerolag. They thought that they could end the game. You can see why. They've taken down every single turret in the game. Every available turret is in their back pockets, and it's an exposed Nexus, but they overstep massively. They're going to lose a Drake for it as well. You can see the idea. Wolfie goes flying into the backline. The fate sealed across, kicks up 4 members, into 4 members going up through that Nami wave too. It looks so good, but Wolfie gets taken out in the backline. Members are surviving on low health, and you're constantly taking damage off of the turrets as well. Lovely super mega death rocket to pick up another kill, and then everybody's scattered to the hills. It's not ideal. You would want this kind of team fight if you are LionsCreed to have happened quite a while ago, but as it stands, picking it up now is getting you slowly towards that point at which you are going to be in a really nice spot, but you have no base. All it takes is Wolfie slipping around through the backside to be able to end the game.
One little ward somewhere at the base of LionsCreed, one little Camille teleporting and getting your Nexus down would have been the end of the game. At least LionsCreed got themselves the 3rd Drake, so right now at least somebody is sitting on the soul point, but doesn't really matter too much when your base is about to be destroyed, because look at the amount of minions marching towards them. It's a lot of additional gold, but it's also a lot of additional enemy team members going towards you. They want to take that and hit down because it's the last thing that you have on your base.
Got to be so careful right now that you don't get overrun. Gotta find that last stand fight. Ornhorn goes wide.
Yes, it's going to be the Glacial Freeze and hitting so nicely, and this is the beginning of
potentially the last fight.
Oh, he's getting a kill. Look at that. This is the Hextech ultimatum on
What
the very
Stratus
back line.
Panda?
Wolf is going to go down.
Gets a kill. Gets excited.
Again, they're so low on health and nobody is
She's
there
excited!
on the other side. Oh my god, she's so excited. Look at that. She's chasing Withdrawing Kain. She wants another kill. But Sejuani, is she getting away though? Is she? Yes, she is this time. But look at that, only 2 members are alive.
Jinx is online. You need to be so careful.
Look at it,
Both of these teams, they're going to find him.
Oh, there's another kill.
Oh no, this is disaster right here for Zerolag. It's beginning to get harder and harder to actually find objectives in this game, to be able to actually finish. Stratos Panda is fully online. She was the MVP of the previous game, getting herself a quarter kill, now with 4 completed items, as well as that Masterwork ornament out of Celestial Lisa. This Jinx deals so much damage, and all it takes is one singular kill for the team fight to completely change into the favor of LionsCreed. If they're able to win this game with 0 turrets and 0 inhibitors being up at one point into the game, that will be absolutely ridiculous.
That would be a big challenge. Like, you know, in single-player games sometimes have really hard challenges to complete. This is going definitely to be one of those for LionsCreed. If they manage to do that, they're my absolute heroes after that. But look at the map. We have the Baron already up and running. This is probably the only thing that would help Zerolag to take down the enemy base finally. Yes, it's not really a big base. A couple of inhibitors and just a little Nexus. No turrets left, but you are not able to make this final push without some additional help, and this Baron would be that additional oomph that you're missing.
Gonna need to have every bit of help you can get. It only takes 3 members, and you can see just trying to take it out. But right now, Tabby and Stratopanda are around, but you can't leave the base too much. It should be easy to pick up. TP gonna come through as well from Apollonia. So, Baron up minions pouring into the base. 0 turrets alive. 2 inhibitors, 1 down in the top side. If Stratopanda can pull it out, this will be the most insane play we've seen the entire tournament, that everything is on them. We saw previously that a Hextech Ultimatum out of Wolfie wasn't enough. A Hextech Ultimatum plus Apollonia going in with the Fate Shield should be. But you gotta find that angle.
Yeah, we gotta wait for a little bit longer and see if it's going to happen, or whether we're going to have the most insane comeback that we've seen for quite some time now. It's okay, guys, it's okay, we still can come back, don't worry. We have absolutely nothing left in our base, but it's still winnable, guys. I'm telling you. Absolutely.
You can hear it, you can hear, we still win, we scale, and the thing is that they do. This composition right here, out of Zerolag, they don't want to be grouping up. You want to send somebody topside, 3 members mid, 1 towards the bot side. Now you can see Apollonia top, Wolfie bot lane. This is exactly what this composition wants to do. If you group, you give the opportunity for Stratopanda to be able to find that fight, find all of those resets. Once she's excited, things could go so very wrong. The engage comes through.
On Hon, they really want to be the one starting the fight. The Glacial Prison was used on Celestial Lisa alone, so now a very crucial ultimate is not available for Zerolag anymore. They are still trying to push through all 3 lanes. This time Wolfie is alive, so they have a little bit of an additional chance of doing something. No, they still cannot. They really want to take that and keep down Wolfie. Are you sure you want to be doing that? You're alone and you have 2 enemy members trying to take you down. If you die, it's going to be a disaster. The Hextech is not going to save you. Apollonia, oh my god, the same versus 2. Is she going to? No, she's not going to get out. LionsCreed are still alive. They're still defending.
Oh, they got all 3 inhibitors though. They're gonna rotate back down, but then again, those 2 early Drakes picked up by LionsCreed is everything. It's bought them enough time that they don't have to go and try fight for this Drake if they don't want to, but they may well do. A trap has been set. Zerolag, they know what's happening. They know they're gonna come in for this.
Oh! We threw a giant out of nowhere, jumping right onto Sea of Ashes, going to figure it out. But look at that. Saya is down. Why was she so far, so close to the enemy? I guess we'll never find out, because it's a dragon for LionsCreed apparently.
It's gonna be so for LionsCreed. They're gonna have to get back to base right now. There are minions pouring into their base. Gonna pick up Wind Trading Panda.
No, that was an attempt to take down somebody.
Minions.
Minions for win! Minions for the win! Minions really want to win this one, but no, Celestial Lisa is going to stop them. Another breathing moment for LionsCreed. I can't believe it!
Everybody, this is the last stand for both of these teams. If you lose, you are out. You are out of contention for the prize pool. Your day finishes right here. What a feeling it would be for Zerolag to have been so in control of this game, to have gotten every tower, every inhibitor, and you just can't make it. This Jinx is full build. I repeat, this is a full build Jinx. This is a full build Victor. Your team scales so much better than your opponents because you have that on, and you now have to run, if you're Zerolag, into this absolutely death machine of a composition from LionsCreed in order to just kill the Nexus. It's so close. LionsCreed are so close to being able to make the comeback, but Zerolag, they can taste the victory.
Can we by any chance have a look at how much health is available for On? Because his health bar seems absolutely ridiculous, which is to be expected when you're building a hard steal on On. What else is going to come out of that? Look at LionsCreed in the meantime. They're clearing out their base. All these gold being thrown at them constantly. For the last, 15 minutes, all Zerolag have been doing was sending a lot of gold towards the base of LionsCreed. And LionsCreed should have been very thankful for that because the items are finally all there.
Oh, everything's so tense. We're waiting for this. It should have been a last stand for LionsCreed 10 minutes ago, and yet they're still standing. It wasn't a last stand, it was the beginning of the end for them. They want to start this comeback. Everything's online. They have everything that they need. They still have the ability to step out of their base, something you shouldn't be able to do with this many inhibitors down. You can see control wards littering their base as well. They don't want any TP flanks because that could be terrifying. Wolfie plus Apollonia into the backline when you stepped out would be enough to end the game very quickly. It's pixel perfect play needed out of LionsCreed. If they misstep even slightly, they will lose this game. But these inhibitors will be respawning soon enough, and then they're going to have a tiny bit more breathing room in order to try to fight for either the Baron in a minute's time or for this Elder Drake coming up in 3.5 minutes.
Is it going to be enough time there? Are we even going to see the Elder Drake? Because Zerolag really want to make the final push. It will take them a little bit more caution this time. It should at least, because last 2 times something was just not working out for them anymore. But come on, this time it's just one last push. It must be so hard to see the enemy nexus so close to you, so completely open and naked, standing there just waiting for you to go and do a couple of auto attacks on it. But you just cannot get to it every time you're close to it. You die.
At this point, the tanks and the supports are nearing full build as well. Everybody right now has an ornament in their back pocket, getting a ton of extra stats. It's so tense, it's so close. 30 seconds on this Baron. If you are LionsCreed, you don't necessarily have to go and fight for this one. You've seen previously that even with Baroned up minions, Zerolag haven't been able to win the game. So you can just sit back, not throw everything, but if you want to go fight them, you're beginning to win these team fights so long as Apollonia and Wolfie don't get into the backline and take out Stratospander, then things should still be fine. Next time we see a team fight, watch Stratospander. Do they get the first kill? Do they get excited? Or do they get locked up in that Hextech ultimatum, into Fate Sealed, into a Nami bubble perhaps? That's the situation where things will go bad. Rocket comes through.
It comes very much through. Look at Wolfie in the meantime. She's on the bot lane, not going too far away though, because right now we're 41 minutes in the game, almost 42. The death timers are absolutely insane. If you die, this might just be a game over for your whole team, because you will not be able to join them for just so long. And as Zerolag, you would need to run so far away from your base as well that you just absolutely cannot afford to die anymore.
This is easily the longest game that we've seen here
Yes.
at Rising Stars so far. This one has legs in it, and it doesn't feel quite over yet. In just a moment's notice, an ace for either team would end the game. Even for LionsCreed, they would be able to push through so quickly with this Jinx. Pulling the trigger, Darkdale might be caught.
Oi, Nami! Okay, Nami has the flash, she's getting away, but Skylar has the flash to impale, and that Nami is gone. That's a nice sashimi for Dina. -1 for Zerolag.
Oh, what a little catch right there. It looks like a lot of ultimates blown for only a support, but it doesn't matter. It relieves so much pressure. All of a sudden, that 1-3-1 doesn't work anymore, not without the Nami. That Nami wave has been crucial in both engaging and disengaging these team fights. It's a nice catch, and you haven't lost too much out for it. Your Skarner still has Hex Flash. Do have to be careful to get back into base and continue to catch these waves. At this point, the Jinx and the Victor, they're just catching the waves for funsies. You do not actually need any more items. Full build, just taking pots whenever they can get them, and your tanks nearly completing full builds as well. Basically, everyone in this game has every item that they are possibly going to pick up so far. So very tense. Winner moves on in the tournament, loser goes home, doesn't have a chance to play for the £3,000 prize pool at the end.
Look at that, 25 seconds before the Elder Drake is going to be up and running on the map, and this might just be the last thing that Zerolag were desperately lacking to go and win those team fights, because they have been trying over and over to go 5-5 or just have something happening on the enemy's base, and we're not able to find a win. Oi, win! Oh, yo, Kain! You better get out of it. There is an
Horn,
horn, I believe. Yes, but it's going in a rather different direction. It's all good. Wolfie, you are in so much trouble right now. You better get out.
Zerolag
yes,
right now.
They're taking the Drake.
Oh, they're on the Drake. They're gonna get the Drake. Wolfie needs to just keep buying as much time as possible. This is gonna be the Elf Drake.
Keep running around, keep jumping. Your Camille can do it. Yes,
gonna get
here
away.
comes the Drake. They can turn around now. They can fight. Finally, they have a fighting chance. They have a massive bat running on them right now. They can go and have this fight and have this final push.
Oh, that's what happens when you have no towers up and available and a Camille who can shred through the base so fast. You couldn't afford to let Wolfie into the back line. You had to turn away from that dragon, despite the fact that that's exactly what LionsCreed wanted. They now have to commit the last stand.
Oh, Glacial Prison is going a little bit wild there, not really stunning anybody. Wolfie is again acting as a bait on the other side of the map, trying to get as many members of the enemy team paying attention to her. Nobody else is possible. Look at everybody else. They're taking down the second hip. The third one is almost down. Wolfie still dancing around it. 2 down. Only 1 is left with a impale onto Kane, and he's going down.
Doesn't die.
John is getting out. Look at that. Wolfie is still possible to go to the back lane. There is a kill.
Stratopanda.
Oh my god, look at that. It's so much happening at the same time.
What Stratopanda?
Kyan is going down. Look at Jinx. Look at everybody.
Jinx has got this. Jinx has got this. Jinx has got this.
Oh! What was that?